Hey everybody, it's Sam, just here to flow with you for this week. So if you're ready and you're ready to go, let's go. You can just find a nice little seat here. Just to start, keep the soles of the feet on the mat. Just make sure you're sitting on your sits bones here. Nice and tall shoulders. You can even do a few shoulder rolls here. Just to loosen everything up. You can even inhale, shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, let them drop. And you can inhale, shoulders up. Exhale, let them drop. And you can do that again if you'd like. We'll just take a gentle twist here to start. So, like I said, you're sitting in this position. Now, if you find that it's more comfortable for you to walk your feet in closer and twist, that's fine. Or if you need to take the legs farther out, then that's perfectly fine as well. So just finding some comfortable distance here for the feet. And then you can just take your right hand, your right arm, and just bring it across the tops of your knees there. And then you'll just twist over to the left. And this doesn't have to be a super vigorous twist here to start. You may not be super loose when you're doing this, or you may have been awake for a little bit by the time you do this practice. So if you're meeting resistance kind of early on in your twist, say you're about here and you're meeting resistance, just stop there and just feel that twist. Keeping the spine nice and elongated, and if you know me, we'll twist somewhere throughout the practice, so no need to kind of rush it. And force yourself into something too soon in the practice. On your next breath, you can come back through to center, and then you can just switch the arms here. So the left arm will come around, and then you can just twist. And then just remembering to twist from the base of the spine up. So if you twist around a little more and you want the head and the neck to turn, they should be the last things to turn around. And just breathing. This is a nice way to have a little bit of movement at the beginning of class, but to still be able to focus on the breath and kind of come into that rhythm and still get nice and settled. Then you can come back to center. So you can drop the legs out to the sides and just come to a bound angle to start. So I will scoot up front ways a little bit. Yeah. So, and once again here, legs, feet rather, can be closer in, or if it feels better to you, you can bring them out wider. You could also put a roll of a blanket, a block, a book, something of that nature under your knees if it's a little too much too soon to start. So you can stay upright in this position here, just holding on around the ankles. If this feels good for you. A lot of people like to go ahead and just round forward, and that's fine. So once again, it's kind of like a pick your destiny book, one of those kind of chapter books here. And I feel like that's kind of what yoga, what's so nice and accessible about it. It may not seem that way to start, but you can always pick a posture and then just explore it. There is such a continuum that can happen in yoga. Even in one posture, you could pick one posture and you could try different variations and just little subtle changes, and it take you somewhere completely different with each little move. So I think once we can get out of our own way and we stop thinking that we have to look like somebody else does in a posture, or there's only one way for a posture to look, and that you can, kind of the biggest realities or biggest moments happen, I guess, in those little changes. Sometimes in the transition from one pose to the next, you can have your biggest kind of aha, this feels really great moments. And I think that's one of the great things to explore about yoga. So one thing I'll also kind of always encourage you to do is, if there's a way that you practice a particular posture more often than the other, so like say in bound ankle here, if you typically bring the feet in closer, then maybe I'll ask that you try with your feet a little farther away from you, and just notice how that feels. It may, and if something isn't safe for you, my gosh, please don't do it. Never do anything that's not safe for you. No, that doesn't work for your body. Please don't do it. But then maybe you might find in this safe place here with knees in, if you always fold forward, feet in, if you always fold forward, maybe you stay upright this time. So there are always little safe variations and things to kind of explore in between. And so if you catch yourself kind of falling into the same kind of habit with a posture, by recognizing that, that's yoga. By kind of noticing, oh, hey, these are my tendencies. By recognizing these things, more yoga coming your way. And of course, breathing while you're moving. We've been in this posture for quite some time, and now I think the sun's going down a little bit. I had drawn the curtains so you all could see a little better, but now it's going down. So I'll open them a little more. I apologize. So what we'll do, you can come back to this posture where your soles of your feet are on the mat and your knees are bent. And then you can just let the knees kind of drop over to one side. And then you can put your knee in the arch of the foot. And then we'll just do, a little twist here again. So you can just walk over to the right side. And you may want to stay upright in this. And I'll scoot around a little more, just so I'm not twisting completely away. So you can walk over to the right side here, and you can stay up. You can come down onto your forearms. This might be something that feels really good to you. And if you also have a blanket or a bolster or a cushion or a pillow, that also might feel good for you to rest on. And while you're noticing that your spine is making a twisting motion, maybe with each inhale and exhale, you breathe in a little bit of space and opening into your spine. Maybe you also notice opening on the left side, and you kind of breathe into that as well. then you can come around, and then we'll just take the legs to the other side. And if putting the knees in this way doesn't really feel good to you, then, and if it does, you can go ahead and go. But how we were sitting up like this, and I asked you just to drop the legs, this time we'll go over to the left. You could certainly just keep them stacked like this, twist, and you could stay up, or you can walk down as well. So like I said, always different ways to do every pose. And I've said this before, if you've never taken my class, I'll say it for you. You make the pose work for you, you don't work for the pose. So I take that very seriously, and I don't think that anybody should have to contort themselves in any particular way or do anything that feels uncomfortable. So just always do what is safe and feels good and works for your body. You can come up if you decided to lay out some. Then you can come back to center. And so what we'll do is you can go ahead and make your way into a tabletop position. So however works for you to come around the hands. So you can come to this position, and then we'll just do some cat-cows, moving with the breath. So inhaling, letting the belly drop. Head tilts up. Exhale, rounding the spine. Taking any other little movements that might feel good to you here in your tabletop. And then if you'd like to take a puppy pose, that might feel good, so you can just walk the hands out away, keeping the knees and the hips where they are. And then when you feel like you've walked the hands out enough, you can begin to let the forehead come to the mat. And you can focus on keeping the spine straight here. Creates a little bit of traction and gives a nice stretch. You can also, if you'd like to take a little more of a back bend, you can let the chest sink toward the ground, toward the mat. And then it's easier to do if you're trying the back bendy way, but you can put the chin to the mat. And then you can come back up to your tabletop and then make your way to your first downward facing dog. So however you like to get there works just fine. You go ahead and make your way there. And I don't know if it's just, might be my angle seeing the camera, but it looked very dark. So I'm going to go ahead and draw those curtains back a little more. And maybe that'll be better. Yeah, that looks better already. So I apologize if you really couldn't see me there. It's so hard with the angle of me looking at the monitor. Sometimes things appear different. So yeah, if you're already in down dog, cool. Take whatever little movements you feel like you need to take there. Maybe bending one knee, then the other. You can take your legs wide off the mat. Just eventually finding a little bit of stillness in your down dog. For your next inhale, you can come up on your toes. As you exhale, you can walk your feet to your hands and come to your first forward fold. When you're in your next inhale, we'll come to a halfway lift. So your hands are to the shins, or the fingertips are to a block or the mat. Either way is fine. Exhale, forward fold. And we'll inhale the arms up, overhead, extend them out. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale the arms up overhead. And then you can exhale the hands to heart center. You can inhale the arms up overhead, coming up on the tiptoes for that candlestick or candle flame pose. Then we'll exhale, you can lower the heels to the mat. Then you can inhale your left leg up. Maybe you bring just knee up. You can straighten that leg if you like. Then you can exhale, and we'll shift back and come into a warrior three. And an inhale, you can come back and set up for your warrior one. Exhale, we'll come to warrior two, but at the back of the mat. You can inhale and drop back for reverse warrior. And exhale and come back up. Then you can come over for a side angle. Side angle stopping here, you can make it extended, letting the arm drop over the head. You can inhale back up to warrior two. Straighten the front leg. Then you can tip over to your triangle pose. Then you can exhale, coming over that left leg, hop the right leg up a little bit. We're going to a pyramid pose here. And if you think here, left hip back, pulling the right hip forward. And the front leg doesn't have to be straight. On your next breath, you can hop that right foot back a little more, and then we'll come around for a nice wide leg forward fold. So this is our first wide leg forward fold, and it can be kind of intense. So you can bend the knees, they can be straight, or you can bend them. You can inhale, halfway lift. Exhale back to that forward fold. You can inhale up to a 5-point star. And then exhale, come back to the front of your mat. And then we'll inhale up to that candlestick. Exhale and drop down to heels. You can inhale your right leg up. You can straighten that leg if you like. Exhale, we'll shift back to warrior 3. And I forgot, you can bend the right leg and, or the left leg and the right leg for grasshopper if you like. Just go ahead and set up for your warrior 1 here. So back foot comes down. We'll exhale, warrior 2 to the back of the mat. You can inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale back up. Take a breath, and then on your next exhale, you can come across to your side angle or your extended side angle. Next breath, you can come back up, straighten the front leg, tilt over for your triangle. You can bring both hands down over that right leg, hop that back left leg in a bit, and then come to your pyramid pose. So once again, remember, front leg doesn't have to be straight. I don't recommend you straighten it and lock it out anyway. And then just think of right hip back, left hip to the front of the room. Next breath, you can hop your left foot out a little more and then come around for your wide leg forward fold. Letting the neck and the head hang here. You can inhale and come to a halfway lift. Exhale back to that fold. On your next inhale, we'll come up to 5-point star. And then exhale, back around to the front of that. And you can bring your hands to heart center here. We'll inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, you can bring your hands back down to the mat. Step your right leg behind you or your right knee to the mat for the lunge. When you're ready, you can inhale the arms up. They can come, hands can come to the knees to the hips, or they can come up. Exhale the hands to the mat. Curl the back toes. Inhale, step back to plank. And then when you're ready, exhale, lower down to the mat. And then we'll inhale here just to cobra. You can also do that baby cobra we've been doing. So you can just lift the chest up and let the hands come up off the mat. Or you can do this. This might be a good thing to do so you don't come up too high too quickly if you're not ready for it. So lifting up and then just placing the hands down. And then exhale back down to the mat. Inhale to plank. And then exhale back to down dog. You can inhale your right leg up behind you. As you exhale, right foot comes through to the hands. Lower your left knee to the mat for the lunge. When you're ready, you can inhale your hands to the knees to the hips, or the arms can come up overhead. Exhale the hands to the mat. Curl your back toes. We'll inhale, step up to halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale the arms up overhead. And then exhale the hands to heart center. We'll inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come to the mat. Step your left leg behind you. Lower your left knee to the mat for a low lunge. When you're ready, you can inhale your hands to the knees to the hips, or the arms can come up. Exhale the hands to the mat. Curl your back toes. We'll inhale, step back to plank. When you're ready, you can exhale and lower down to the mat. We'll inhale to cobra. Maybe up a little higher. You can still do baby cobra too. Exhale, lower down to the mat. Inhale to plank. And then exhale back to down dog. You can inhale the left leg up behind you. As you exhale, left foot comes through to the hands. Lower the right knee to the mat for low lunge. When you're ready, you can inhale your hands to the knees to the hips, where the arms can come up. Exhale the hands to the mat. Curl your back toes and inhale, step up to halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale the arms up overhead. And then exhale the hands to heart center. We'll inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Then you can exhale. Let's come back to this forward fold for a minute, and we'll do a twist. So you can leave the right hand on the mat, bend the right knee, keep the left leg straight. You can inhale and twist open. And you can look up at the left hand, or you can look down at the right hand. You can come back, hands down to the mat. Step your right leg behind you. And then before you lower, we're in this high lunge here. Maybe you just explore this lunge for a moment. So kind of leaning in. You could even lean back, balls of the ball of that back foot, we're up on that. And then kind of pushing back. You might notice a bit of a calf stretch there. Don't go crazy, don't overdo it. And then leaning forward, you might notice a little bit more of a hip flexor stretch. My knee's not quite down yet. We can take a twist here if you like. So you can leave right hand on the mat. And then you can twist open. Once again, you can look up at the left hand, or you can look down at the right hand. Then when you're ready, you can bring that left hand down, and then bring the right knee down to the mat. You can let go of those back toes. You can inhale, lift up. We'll take another twist here, and twist over to the left. And you can inhale and come back up. And then you can exhale, the hands come down to the mat. So now we'll take a few minutes and just explore. So we're in this low lunge here. You can also walk back, stretching out, getting a nice stretch up the back of that left leg, letting the neck, head drop. And you can make this a totally fluid motion, inhaling up to this lunge, exhaling, walking back. Or if you're in one or the other, you can maybe inhale if you're back, you can lift up, and then exhale, coming back into the fold. Or if you're in the lunge, maybe inhaling, just scooting the hips back, and then exhaling, coming back down a little more. There's no right or wrong place to be, but these are just other places to be. So when you're ready, we'll come back to this lunge. You can inhale, curl the back toes, step back to plank. And then when you're ready, we'll exhale, lower down to the mat. We'll inhale to cobra, or baby cobra, whatever feels good. Exhale, lower down to the mat. Inhale to plank, and then exhale back to down dog. You can inhale your right leg up behind you. As you exhale, that right foot comes through the hands. Lower the left knee down to the mat. When you're ready, you can inhale the arms up. And then you can exhale, the hands come back down to the mat. So maybe here too, we'll just try this little stretch. So you can leave this left hand down on a block or the mat. You may need to walk it out. I think I might try walking my hand out a little bit. And then just right arm comes up. I'm just stretching over to the left. Feels kind of good. I'm digging this. And then you can come back to your low lunge. You can curl the back toes, inhale, step up for halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. We'll inhale the arms up overhead. And then exhale, the hands are at center. We'll inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And then we'll exhale briefly back to that forward fold. And then we'll do this twist. So left hand on a block or the mat. Bend the left knee, right leg straight. And then you can twist. And you can once again look up to the right hand or down at the left. There is no wrong way to do this. Then you can exhale. Then we'll step the left leg back. And then remember, we're here in this high lunge here. So we're just going to explore this a little bit. Leaning in. Shifting back. And it can be totally cool. Well, I mean, it's the plan of yoga, but just to really let your breath kind of guide your movement. Like, just really focus on your breathing, and then just see how your body kind of moves and responds to your breath. It's pretty cool. So then we'll do that twist again. So left hand on the mat, and then you can twist over to the right. You can bring your right arm up if you like. The right arm doesn't ever have to lift up. You can keep it on the hip there if you like. But if you've got the arm up, you can look at the right hand, or you can look down at the left. And then we'll bring that right hand down, and then you can lower the left knee down. When you're ready, we'll inhale the arms up. And this time we'll twist over to the right. You can inhale back up to center. Then exhale, hands to the mat. And then we'll just explore this low lunge here. And then just moving back. And when you feel ready, you can maybe back at the front of our lunge. We'll curl the back toes, inhale and step back to plank. And then when you're ready, we'll exhale and lower down to the mat. We'll inhale to cobra. Exhale, lower down to the mat. We'll inhale to plank. And then exhale to down dog. You can inhale your left leg up behind you. As you exhale, left foot comes through the hands. Lower the right knee to the mat for the lunge. When you're ready, you can inhale the arms up overhead. We'll exhale, hands to the mat. Curl the back toes, inhale and step up to halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Then we'll inhale the arms up overhead. And exhale, the hands are at center. All right, so just kind of something I think I really just came to the realization of today, and I won't talk long because it's still class time, but I'm definitely experiencing that summer heat and kind of heaviness this summer especially, and really, I mean, the temperatures have soared within the past week, so really I think it's been within the past week or so, maybe two, and I'm really not craving that like boom, 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 quick, 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 go, go, kind of yoga class. I'm a pitta if you're a dosha person. So in the summer I really do need kind of that slow, cooling kind of practice. And so I think that is what I'm craving, and in this class I'm totally just basing off of how I feel. So if you think you might need something a little more fast-paced, and this class isn't really doing it for you, I've got a bunch of other pre-recorded power classes, and then my other Vinyasa classes where I at least feel like I was moving at a faster pace. This may be the same pace, but to me it just feels different. But also I felt like I just wanted to explain that to you all, that I feel like that is why at least this class today has felt a little slower, just because I think I gotta like bring it down for myself. So if this doesn't align with what you want to do, I apologize, but I do have other kind of strengthening, faster paced, more challenging classes. And I don't know if this is the trend that will continue. Maybe next week I will want to like move quicker pace again. But I'm kind of like riding this out. I feel like I don't typically practice like this. Either just won't let myself or for whatever the reason is. But I'm riding it out and it's cool and I'm liking that. And I encourage you to do the same. So that's why I'm just letting you know if this speed pace type of class today isn't for you, then like that is cool. I get it. Do you? And if it's not one of my classes, then go to the Main Street Yoga Facebook page, and there you can find links to other local yogis who may have something that you can identify and jive with a little better. So just to kind of round out our standing postures, we'll just do a little bit of balance because balance is always fun, and I always love balancing, standing balancing. So nothing like too super crazy. Well, I'll face this way. Nothing too super crazy, I don't think, today. We'll do a tree because we haven't done a tree in a long time, and I feel like that's also a very grounding, nice, calming pose. So we can go to tree pose. So whether you kickstand or place your foot on your calf, or place your foot on your thigh. Wherever your tree is very cool, and I love that. And it's your tree, so it's the best tree for you because it is your tree. And as far as hands go, you can keep them down the sides. You can bring them out. You can keep them up. You could bring your hands toward center. You can do a reverse prayer. You can also rest your left leg on your left arm on your left leg, and then bend over. You can also close your eyes. Tree in a thunderstorm, hurricane, windstorm type thing going on. And you can stay here if this is a perfect beginning posture, I think. I just love this pose. But if you want to try something else, you can bring your foot up, out front again, strengthening your quads on fire, and then come back for a warrior 3. Then I'm feeling a half moon today. So you can just bring that left arm down. I can't quite twist because of my angle that I'm standing. And in your half moon, don't try to look up. You can look at me to see kind of what this looks like, and then try it, but don't look up because it makes it very difficult. Really flex and engage that back left leg that is lifted. Back left leg that is lifted. That's a tongue twister. And then you can come back up. Woo. Then you could do like a shake, like a shake, like a shake, shake, shake type thing. And then we'll just do it again on the other side. So left leg will be your sturdy leg. You want to try to get your tree to be the same on this side as you did on the other side, but that's just not always how it goes. And that's okay. Like I said, it's your tree. Make the tree work for you. Get off my like tree soapbox. My yoga soapbox, rather. And that's okay. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna, because I still have more thoughts in my head, I'm just gonna go back to what I was talking about before I start talking warrior 3 to half moon, if you're feeling it. That I think maybe I just have always felt like I've got to do what people want to do, what people want out of a class, instead of teaching a class. Not that I don't enjoy all the classes I teach, I think of them, so I enjoy them. But I think I usually go, what would people like to do? Instead of like, what would I like to do? So I'm just kind of honoring myself here in my class recording. So yeah, yay you for balancing. That went so great. So now we can take it down. If you've got some way that you want to sit, then by all means do that. I think I would like to take a seated forward fold here. So legs are up nice and straight. You can put a little bend in them, a little blanket roll or something, and then just make sure that you're actually on your sits bones. That's hard to do, but if you just do that, I really feel like I would like to put my legs up the wall. If you've got another inversion that you would like to do, or if you don't have a wall handy, you can put pillows or blankets or cushions under your sacrum, and then let your legs come into there like that. You could do a supported bridge, a shoulder stand. Is probably the most sustainable inversion. But I just really am feeling like a legs up the wall moment. So, because I typically record these outside, it's too hot today, and I don't have a good wall out there. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to do legs up the wall in this class. So sitting very close to the wall, leaning back, swiveling your hips around. And then if your hips don't end up right against the wall, you can readjust and kind of scoot yourself forward. Now, if you also just don't feel like doing this, then find some other kind of restful pose that you can stay in for another couple of minutes, just 3 minutes or so. You can just kind of scan your body and just notice how you feel after moving. If you are in your legs up the wall and you would like to stay here for your Shavasana, that is perfectly fine, and I encourage you to do so. If you think you feel like staying there, and then later on here in a few minutes you decide you don't feel like staying there, then switch your position and make yourself comfortable. But if you don't feel like staying here, it is time for Shavasana, and you can make your your way to your resting spot. If you'd like to take any props or need a bolster or a blanket or anything of that nature, get whatever you think you need to make yourself comfortable here. So you can relax and be completely still. Just observe your thoughts. Observe your mind. But observe it without judgment. And I think us, especially nowadays, our society has become kind of righteous and self-righteous. Even food, what we eat, there's judgment around it. And there's a lot of judgment going on right now, whether it's politics, which is a big spotlight, judgment on respecting others and wearing a mask or not, judgment on racial issues. There is just judgment everywhere, and we see all of this judgment happening on TV, or whether you hear people at work judging somebody else for something little, then it just transfers into yourself, and we just always, I feel like, are judging ourselves, our family, our friends, strangers, everybody. It's just always judging. And it can be hard, myself included, it can be hard to not judge others, to not judge yourself. And you don't sometimes know that it's happening until you actually can be still and kind of identify and really kind of examine your thoughts and watch your thoughts and go, oh my gosh, I'm judging myself for that thing. I'm judging myself for thinking that thing. I'm judging someone else for what they just did or said. And that doesn't mean that there are never people who do anything incorrectly. Or, not everybody is right all the time. Even ourselves, we're not always right all the time. What you can do is, rather than going to judgment, oh, she did that thing because she hates so-and-so, or he thought that thing, because, I don't know, insert any scenario, because everything fits. You can try to empathize a little bit, or try to wonder why. Gosh, that person said that thing. I wonder why. Oh, that person reacted that way to this scenario. What else is happening in their life? What else is happening in their world? Now, sometimes it's not as complicated as that, or it's not as simple as that. There are learned behaviors and ideals of thinking, and some people are flawed in their judgment and in their thoughts on things. But aren't we all? We're all flawed here and there. And that's not making excuses for people who, gosh, how do I say it? It's not making excuses for people who so blatantly don't care for the basic rights and decency of all creatures, of all beings. That's not excusing that at all, but rather than judging somebody, having conversations with people about why they think a certain way. And usually when you begin to have a civil conversation, you can begin to understand your own views, your own thoughts a little better, and then begin to understand why the other person feels the way they do, and you either can end up agreeing to disagree, or maybe coming to some sort of resolution. But judgment kind of stops that conversation before it can even start. You don't get to do that exploration and that bit of kind of diving deeper and understanding the why or the how. Judgment is just kind of that surface level. We're multifaceted beings. So if we just kind of stop judging, starting with ourselves, maybe we can just grow to spread acceptance and love for ourselves, but then also grow in that love and acceptance that you and the people you surround yourself with have for all beings, all creatures, can spread to others, and hopefully they can love and care for and respect all people just as we do. So I've talked through most of your time, but maybe you'll just lay here for a few minutes longer. Just observe your thoughts without judgment and see where that takes you. I invite you to stay here for as long as you like. But if you feel ready, you can allow some slow, subtle movements to return to your body, just however they naturally occur. And then when you feel ready, you can take a nice deep inhale and roll to one side if you're choosing, taking a longer exhale once you make your way there. And then when you feel ready, I invite you to join me in a comfortable seated position. Bring the hands to heart center, eyes closed, and gaze down. I'm so grateful and thankful to share this practice with each, with each and every one of you. May you be safe, may you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you live with ease. Namaste.